Alright, here we are, Bob Long again, continue. Me, the Kiko, Freddy, the ref, and we're just here at Capital Edge Paintball Park, and we're just walking with old storyteller Bob Long. If you didn't catch the live stream, this is going to be pre-recorded, and I've been fortunate enough to know Bob from back in the day and watched the evolution of paintball, and now putting in perspective the stories, innovations, the man, a creator, innovator of the markers. And so here, as you see some faces out here, you probably recognize this. A lot of people recognize him.
Yeah, and, online you got to fill out a waiver.
So these guys, Ironmen, are up here, the new Ironmen. We got some of the old Ironmen, and they're bowing to him. So this is the lineage, the resurrection of the mechanical. Back in the day, before the electronics, he was on the cutting edge of the mechanical with his own, what was it called, Benchmark? Your product? Or was it the Bob Long?
Bob Long. It was Benchmark when he had a grip he made for me.
And then, like I said, he was telling us earlier about innovation, about making the autococker proficient, putting his own twist on it.
What are you doing, buddy? I heard, man. I'm so glad you're fucking doing it. Sorry for that. Glad you're good. Thank you. I miss you, man. Look at this. Look at this character I brought. We miss you, man.
Miss you guys. Just getting old.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh, wow.
How come it doesn't say Kiko Who on the bottom?
Oh shit, no.
No, it says the man, the myth, and the legend.
Yes, sir.
One of these days I got to tell you guys.
Yeah, the big game, north versus south, is coming up.
I ain't got nothing juice, but
That's all right. Come on, have fun, dude.
That's all it's all about.
That's all we're trying to do is have fun.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta calm the inner beast, because that's still the problem. You know, some things you can tame, Bobby. That's one thing I haven't tamed yet. The inner beast.
thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
I'll keep you forever.
Yeah, we're doing north versus south in October. And then there'll probably be the cancer benefit too will be coming up. So there'll be probably two big events at the tail end of the year.
And you guys are playing next week here? Or is
Play a tournament here next week.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
week.
there's a cancer benefit somewhere up here.
Yeah. Well, it got pushed out.
September
It got
19th.
Yeah,
pushed
I
out.
know it's been moving.
Yeah.
I said I'll do it whenever you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not that far away.
And the north versus south is the weekend after
The 10th and 11th.
10th and 11th of
West Coast.
October, which is a weekend after Chicago. We play Chicago ICPL. And we come back and do that event. And Fred Schultz is going to be a general for the north.
Right.
Yeah, that will be fun.
I'm playing on the opposite side.
Can you believe all this shit? You gonna do it without that?
I'm
Gonna
gonna
play
go
south?
after, yeah.
Dude, that's what I'm
I'm gonna
talking
go after
about.
Freddy,
That's
man.
what I'm talking about.
Coming for you.
Be a spoiler. Be a spoiler. Fuck the north.
Well, the North was great last year because I generaled.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it was one.
Yeah.
So we're here with Bob Long
Okay.
and originals. We got Weeze, we got Dirk, and
Maybe.
you guys can wipe away the tears now.
Wipe away the
I
tears.
love you, man. No, I love
It's a lot of
That's
years
how
in history.
people don't understand. You know,
It's family, man.
this is forever. We live together forever. I mean, this is not like your cousins you see once every 6 months. You know, we physically live together. And we knew each other's moves and stuff like that. And that's the way, you know, we want to take all the politics out of this shit.
Bobby, remember going fishing?
Remember what we said? I just did it on the interview.
Did
I
you?
said, yeah,
Time
I
to
did.
go fishing.
We're going fishing.
And it's funny because Bobby, talk about moves, right? And Bobby's like, you have this little thing, you get this little twitch, right? You get up and you just kind of twitch a little
Like
bit.
a cat
And then he goes, I know
mountain
you're ready to go.
knows.
So then I said, okay, we got to quit that shit, man. I can't be twitching for you with you behind me. So I was like, all right, let's go fishing. You like to fish. I like to fish.
Yeah.
And it was great, man. I just go up, dive in front of the bunker, and dude come over and bite, just rip his head off, man.
Yeah. Remember, I just did an interview just a minute ago on
you.
it.
Describe that.
I exact move.
Man, yeah, and then people caught on to fishing, so then we had to come up with something else.
You just know. You play so much alongside each other. You know.
It's a biological thing, right?
I mean,
the time.
The communication was there as something to start with, but fuck, dude, after time, you just knew what they were gonna do.
That's exactly
You know what I mean?
what I just
And
said.
then we're all
to-
mad
You
dogs.
just knew it.
Just 5 minutes ago, I said, as a back player with the guys, my front players, they didn't have to come and tell me, and didn't have to look around and say, I'm getting ready to go.
Yeah.
I could see their body language. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I got to stop it right now. Stop them from attacking him.
That's the way
A
it
little
always was.
misdirection too, like you said, right?
Yep.
You had to give them one face while the other one, and then these guys would come in. If Weeds ran through, Bob was putting some paint, Dirk would come up and put another one. Oh, you're out. Right? Oh,
I
get
remember
that
one
word off the
time
field.
playing Bad Company, and we were stuck. And there was nothing happening. I mean, we were in the woods, and nobody was moving, and I'm going back and forth, the typical stuff, running back and forth, staying just out of the paintball range. And I'm going, man, there's nobody in the middle of the field. I'm going back and forth. So I take off sprinting right through the middle of the field. Didn't know there was a guy at a tree, just happened to be looking the other direction. I didn't even know he was there. I ran by him and got behind him, and they said, Bob's behind us! And the whole team turned around, and my guys went, wow! And it was over.
That's all it takes.
And all I did was run in the back and go,
Yeah.
I didn't shoot nobody.
Predators.
But you didn't have to.
No.
That's a teamwork, man.
Predators the second year when we won it, and yeah. Predators the second year we won it, and everybody's kind of stacked. We started stacking up over on the thick cone over left, show side, and Brian was over there, and I couldn't see anything in the middle. And I ended up just hitting the ground and started crawling across the whole field on the Predator game, and I got about halfway there, dude, and it's just like shit. It's flat, open, you know, and they were down in a gully, but if you got low enough, they didn't see it. I get about halfway there, I'm going, fuck, I hope my guys see him. See me on there. I hope that they see what's going on. I hope they understand, you know, when I come up and get shot or I shoot somebody that, you know, and then Daryl starts doing the, you know, the DCM, dirt call middle, and it goes across the field. I'm going, oh, fuck yeah. Dude, when it goes, it's going to go. And I did. I got up to that spot and I shot a couple guys out of the right that had no idea it was even there, clear on the right-hand tape. And then I can hear it over here on the left, and Bonini and guys stacking up. I'm going, here it goes, the fucking push is going. And I stood up, dude, and I ran at an angle at that tape, and I ran up over the hill and shot one and just got fucking riddled. And then there's a dead man box looking at me, and they're going, yeah, and right over the top. Everybody goes, and then their faces go, oh.
And that
Just like that.
And that kept
Done.
happening.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember that same game. I'm crawling, you know, and I'm running a remote. Years ago,
Yeah.
I have a remote, and I'm crawling away, and all of a sudden I'm in the brush. I look to the side of me, and 10 feet away from me is the opposite side crawling that way. I go,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I try to bring the gun up, it's tangled in the bushes. Oh man, what do I do now? And he's just doesn't, all he has to do is look. Oh, you know, and finally I get it out, bang, oh,
Well, and then spend the next 10 minutes getting it untangled.
Yeah. Well, so your story is like our first national win in Dallas, '91. Well, 10-man win. We were playing the Florida Annihilators, and it was a stalemate. And I'm crawling in the middle of the open, middle of the field, no trees around me, grass like this high is all. And I'm crawling, I'm watching my watch, going, all right, in 3 minutes I got to make a move. I knew there was a guy at a big tree down in a trench in front of me. And I'm crawling, I see him running around, talking there, trying to figure out a push against us. And I crawl up and I check my watch, time to go. I get up and I run over to bunker the guy, and there's 3 guys in there. I go, oh shit, wham, I hit one of them, I get lit up, and I go hit, and I turn around, and it's you, Chip Hyde, and somebody else come around the corner on this creek bed. Just fucking mowing them. I'm going, yes. Fuck yeah. Dude, like, here's a cow. I'm wiped out, but here's a fucking cow. Oh, they just rolled right through them.
Yeah.
they just turned their head for a split second.
Yeah, as I
And
came
that's all
over the
it took.
top, and it's like, goddamn, there's 3 of them. I knew of one guy.
You
But
know,
yeah, I saw you guys just
when
roll through.
when it went to X-Ball and they allowed coaching, You know, it was the greatest thing in the world for me to stand there in the sidelines and tell a guy what to do. I remember we were playing the Russians, and I forgot even who it was. I'm going, he's up in the snake and the Russian's the back corner, and I'm going, no, 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 no. And the Russian's going like this, shooting both ways. But I watched the Russian's head do, he has the gun on this side. I watch his head to go like this. I go, now! And he whoop, and shot the gun. That quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So just, you know, that was
It's those little things.
Timing.
timing.
Oh, and that's something that I preach to the young guys. Listen to the guns. You know when it's shooting at you, and you know when it's shooting somewhere else.
Right.
Don't.
Exactly.
If you know it's shooting at you, don't come up.
Don't look.
Wait till you hear the gun going something. Now come up on them.
Yes.
Yeah. Little things.
You look good, Bobby.
Stud.
You look good.
Well,
I'm telling you.
I'm on
like-
all the stuff that you can possibly have.
You look better than I feel.
Look.
I'll say that right now.
That's saying a lot.
I'm on Mediterranean diet.
At least he's honest. But seriously, in the Bay City, your color
Yeah.
was off and stuff like that. You look
Well,
really good.
they had to fix the heart again.
You look good. I mean, the color
it
looks
one more
good.
time.
You looks like you lost weight. You look good, man.
Yeah.
You do look good.
Get in there.
I like the fucking hair, dude. The locks are badass.
I told
Yeah,
Heather
I
I
wish I
wouldn't
could do
cut it
that.
for 2 years.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Going on my second year, so.
I got a little thin up top, Bobby, and started getting
Love it.
unicorns. So now all I can do is grow this. Maybe a little bit on the balls.
oh, you got plenty on your ass for showing
Good,
that.
good hair clubs over here. This is the good hair
Fucking
club.
weasel.
That's you guys.
How's this look, guys?
Yeah. I can grow hair.
Back your head.
Some things don't change, right?
No. Fuck no.
All right, let's go get ready.
All right,
So
good
get
Larry,
going.
just hanging out.
We'll see Bob's coming.
We're
Come
talking.
say, hey Bob, come say goodbye before you
I
go.
will.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deal with him and Freddy Enterprise. Kenny Rogers here. We're talking about his next album. Kenny Goes Paintballing. And what about the rotisserie place you had?
It's a rotisserie.
Kenny Rogers.
Oh, yeah, I know.
This was live. Okay, I'm doing a live thing too. So we're out here with
At least
Bob-
that's better than Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Sing lady for us.
Really?
Lady. So we're going to continue on. All right, people. We're going to walk out this way. Like I said, the Conics box. They're going to have the big game out here. He has a endeavor for a charity, domestic violence.
That's good.
He goes out and he does it like on Thursdays. And then the whole family's in on it. So it's pretty good stuff. He's going back here in the back here. We'll sit in the shade for a minute. That way he can sit up. But he's developing this out here. It goes all the way back here. Back by this tower to the right here, he's got a gun range for airsoft guns, the pellet one.
That's good.
So he's making a target thing because they're shooting all the whatever the vermin or the stuff out here,
Squirrels.
the squirrels and things digging holes. And then he has this one field on the other side. Your opinion on airsoft? You understand the airsoft, the little BBs?
You know, I was lucky enough to go to Japan, trying to get paintball legalized over there years ago. And they flew me back there. I met with heads of government. And, you know, we got shot down because I had to be honest with them. They asked me if a person could take a marble and put it in a paintball gun and shoot it. Yes. And that's all it took. It was illegal then because you'd kill somebody. So, but I got to play airsoft to the top level, and they reenact and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that was a lot of fun. Nothing wrong with airsoft. I understand why our sport went from paintball to airsoft, because it become cheaper. You know, you can go out there and have fun and spend $40 for the whole weekend
Yep.
instead of
Not
going
being
out.
all messy and such.
Yeah, you know, instead of going out and playing $150 in paint. And I understand that, and that's what happened. Nothing wrong with it. I think airsoft has a spot in our sport. It is fun. It's the same thing,
Yep.
except,
A little bit of honor. Same
There's
as paintball,
honor.
no honor. You know, if they're not going out, you shoot them again.
right.
So it's just a game. It's just my opinion. the game is fine. It's the people in it, but that hasn't changed.
Right.
The social strata,
You're
right?
never going to change the people. Certain people are going to be jerks, and certain people aren't going to be jerks. You know, it's just what we make out of it. You know, that's what's happening with their
Your
country.
persona, yep. Your persona is what you wanted to be when you put your goggles on.
Right.
You're not just Bob Long. You're Bob Long, the player.
And I understand people want to win. I understand that heart, because that heart was here so bad. Is I need the adrenaline and the capability of winning. Now, that's diminished over years because the drive's not there no more.
The
But
imagination.
yeah, but here, you know, I get, my brain never stops. People go, well, what do you do now? I don't stop. You know, I develop products. You know, I keep going. There's nothing I can do about it. I take sleeping pills at night because I can't shut my brain off. You know, but that's part of the
Life.
life.
Stress. Stress is our middle name.
You're right.
I like toilet paper and I like cable TV. You
Yeah,
gotta
right.
pay for it.
Yep.
Food. The best part of the day. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I got a bunch of questions, but like I said, back in the day when they showed up, that this community, he probably knows hundreds of people, thousands of people call out to him, and it's hard to remember everybody, right?
I'm horrible at names. Absolutely horrible. I can remember a face, but I can't remember a name.
So these guys, you know that guy? That's Rich. No. Sure. How are you doing? But yeah, back in the day, from the perspective of him being an archer and stalking the prey, staying downwind, thinking like an animal, he applied it to paintball.
Yeah, it was. It was
the challenge.
You don't have to kill everything. You know, it was nice fighting against people that thought like you did. So now, use your capability of thinking and outsmarting that person,
Condensed it.
and it's in paintball.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's the solution? What's Bob's opinion on the solution? What we could change?
I think what we need to do is we need to get our country together. You know, we need paintball as general to.
This here is Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan.
I met him before.
Okay.
How you doing, Dylan?
Yeah.
How's it going?
The generations just walk by you.
Yeah.
Time. There it goes.
We need to get more kids in it. I agree that they needed to slow down the rate of fire for the kids. I don't think it needed to be slowed down for the adults, because what you do is you eliminate technology. And let's really talk about technology for a second. Does everybody really think it's going to be the same 10 years from now? You got to look in advance and look at out of the box. What is going to happen 10 years from now? It's not going to be the same. Everybody's kind of tired and I don't even know what the name of it, procrastinative, whatever it's called, to where they're happy with it. I don't want to work at it. Everything can be improved. Yes, we need to get paintball going again. Yes, we need to get and you got to do it in steps. You know, you can't. We got all these riots going on right now, and the protesting, and the coronavirus, and you know the economy's trashed. Yeah, you're not going to go. People are not going to go spend their money on a paintball gun. They're not going to. It's, you know, you're going to get a percentage, but it's not going to be like it was in the early 90s.
Every year changing the new car style.
Yeah, it just, but it has capability. You know, they've done a great job. Dave's done a great job here to not make it all tournaments. You know, he made it for walk-ons too.
And you've seen a lot of the fields.
Yes.
Even back in the day,
Yes.
all around the world.
You know, Sac Cotton Village. Yes, he knew what he was doing down there. He gets those massive amount of people playing, but he knows that not everybody can play at tournament level. And they don't want to go out there and, let's say, play with the Ironman and get
A case of game.
Yeah,
And
they
get
don't
one
want to
kill.
do that. They, you know, to where I felt if I got my ass kicked, I learned, no matter what. I didn't just get my ass kicked. I'm learning every time I lose. So that's what you have to, and that's what happened with the old Ironman, is we won so much that we weren't learning at that point no more. We started slowing down our practices, our playing, all that kind of stuff, and everything has changed, you know. For instance, the political part of, you know, the paintball. You know, I look at all the interviews that John did, 90% of the people were back east. And there's a lot of studs there. There really is. You know, they all, you know, put into paintball the most they could and stuff like that and learning. But California and the West Coast controlled the winning aspect of tournament paintball. And there's room for the people in California or Oregon or Arizona or Washington to be involved, not everybody back east, because we're kind of getting left out here. And we, the one that started really tournament paintball. If you
Competition play.
realistically look at it, you had teams like the PMI Piranhas and stuff like that. First time I played the PMI Piranhas in New York, I beat them. First time. That's with the really, really old Ironmen, with Rick Baird was the captain and stuff like that. So that was the #1 team in the world. So, you know, we can't very well, you know, say everything's back east. You know, they look at different things on how much
Go ahead.
people are putting into the sport. And, you know, it kind of hurts. You know, I've been in this sport for 30 some years, and I didn't even get inducted into the Hall of Fame. But that's their decision. Whatever it is whatever it is. But that's what we need to do. We need to keep on pushing.
So where do you see paintball in the future?
It's hard to imagine. You know, I think they need to, it's not going to be all arenas no more. They need to move back to the woods. They need to, or at least have woods involved. Let's just do a mathematical formula here. Let's say 7 players in the woods. Okay, you got all guys under 25. They don't have really good paying jobs. They want to train, they want to be the best in the world. They probably could be the best in the world. But who's going to pay for it? You're going to get a die or a, you know, Planet Eclipse. They're only going to pay for so much. That's going to end. You know, when the numbers start dwindling, that sponsorship will end. Now let's do the same scenario. We go to the woods. Okay, you got a 7-man team. You got 3 guys that are me, that have the money to play, that wants their son, just like the Ironman. Look at Jamie, Dirk, Mike, all got their sons playing with them. I quit playing because my son quit playing. So somebody's going to have to pay for it. You know, everybody's going to get tired of hitting every tournament and pay to go to these big events, and that's expensive. And doggone airfare's expensive, you know. And if you're asking somebody that doesn't have a job, that or goes to college or whatever to pay for it, They're not going to.
So far, you know, the way I see it is paintball started off in the woods. It needs to be in the woods. They're coming back with the mechanical markers big time. And, you know, now they're bringing in the mechanical tournaments and stuff like that. And it's just unbelievable. A lot of the fields are doing the mechanicals. Dave is going to do a tournament. Micah and Davis is doing a tournament. You know, and it's just unbelievable that, you know, and these guys are buying these markers up big time because that's the way it is. I mean,
They want to still play.
yeah.
They don't want to go to an arena and get their ass blown off the field.
Right.
You know, and if you slow everything down and you make it easier for other people to play, yeah, they'll play more. But if you set it up to where everybody's getting blown off the field, you won't play more.
I mean, even New York right now, they're doing the woods. They're getting set to do the Woods Ball World Cup.
100%. It's telling you that the whole system is getting ready to change. Is it going to change in 6 months? No. Is it going to take a year or so? Yeah, it's going to take that.
We're back.
I've seen them all.
We're back. He goes to their house and has dinner all the time. We're back with Bob Long in the shade, out here reminiscing with the old and new, the generation of the Ironmen, the legacy of one Bob Long. The question would be the resurgence of the mechanical from the shocker and to the autococker. And your opinion on that? Is it, you think it's a fad, like an old car or something?
You know,
Or the challenge of?
no, they like to play when mechanics. They got to have something new. Everybody wants something a little bit new. No matter what it is, they want something. And you know, I played with an autococker at the Classic. I hadn't played with an autococker in 10 years. You know,
Different.
I had to, I had to really think about pulling the trigger.
You're already pulling the trigger before you
You know,
were doing it.
But there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it falls right into my personal advantage. My advantage is I'm accurate, okay? And I don't do it by spray. You know, I do it by aiming. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's room for autocockers. I think there's room for mechanical process, stuff like that. Yes, there is. We need to do something, and I don't know exactly what it is, but we do need to do something.
A division. A true player would be one who could go across all the genres, mechanical, electronic,
100%,
and then his ability.
Yeah.
Instead of just 21 balls a second,
Right.
and you can't do nothing, right? Or right off the bat, like you said, two guys get shot, the game's over, and now they can hit the buzzer to stop the game.
Right.
So that, you know, we
That
had
needs to
30-minute
be-
games. We were
Right.
back on 14-man teams back in the day, right?
Right.
And you would
So we
take-
need to change a little bit, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, life is good with changes, you know, and if we change it to the better, we hit a home run. If we change it to the worse, well, we didn't quite hit it. Maybe we bunted, you know.
So if we look back to the past to see where we've gone and what we've done, we can see what we're doing in the future.
It's all a giant circle, you know, that we're
The
just
circle of
going-
life?
Yeah, circle of life. It's going to circle around.
Philosophizing with Kenny Rogers. Yeah. So, yeah, and Amanda, autococker, automatic.
Pretty close to the same.
Yeah?
Yeah, you still had to pull the trigger. You know, I think the cocker was more accurate.
And you get
And
clean it
here we
better.
go to the philosophy.
Yeah.
High pressure, low pressure. You know what I mean? Automag was a super high pressure gun, so it deformed the ball. So I don't think there's a problem with the automag. You're not going to shoot an automag at 25 balls a second. You're not going to do it unless you got a response trigger.
Sometimes you would play the team and the gun.
No,
Did it equate into it?
because we weren't that. You know, that's not true. We played all Americans a little bit different when they had shockers. They tend to reach out a little bit farther. Not so much as reaching out and hitting us and breaking. Yeah, if you hit a hard part, yeah, that's fine. But there was a line in the woods that, you know, everybody ran out and they made their bunkers, and you're making moves, okay? But there's a line back here that is a kind of a no man's land, and there's a line on this side that's a kind of a no man's land. And you walked up and down those lines, and they'd shoot at you, but you know, you knew where the balls were hitting. They hit the ground in front of you, you know. So you physically watched that line as far as you could. Then you could work your players a little bit more. It tends to, and I don't know if they had anything tricked, but it tend to, the shocker would shoot a little bit farther. You know, it gained 5, 6, 10 yards on us. You know, so. That was a factor that you had. If you played somebody else, you didn't quite have that factor involved. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So you had to play the team, the gun a little bit, always thinking. You got to, right? You got to know your opponent. And this gun was probably designed to counter people like you.
Exactly.
Talker, right?
Exactly. They need to reach. You know, and I even, in days that I used to have a hop-up system. When I told you I went to Japan and played Airsoft. Well, I seen hop-ups. I said, okay, this is a good idea. So what I did is I made it a lift barrel to where we'd lift the ball, but it wouldn't do it all the time. You know what I mean? It was never consistent. So I ended up taking paint and putting it in acetone, which doesn't melt the ball, but it would take the oil film off the paintball,
Dry it out.
and it would lift more consistent.
It's going to have a little bit of stuff making it wobble.
So physically, I didn't shoot that all the time, but I used that to move people down the field. You come to the woods, and you usually meet somewhere in the 50-yard line, and you fight, and you need to move those back guys back. If you move those back guys back, my front guys can move forward without getting shot by the back guys. So getting close enough that in the explosion, you know, that Dirk was saying, yes, you know what's going to happen if one of my guys jump up to go bunker a guy and makes it and kills that one guy. Hey, Rick! Kills that one guy, and that one guy's dead. That rest of that group, that beehive, was going to go whoop, and it's going to happen that quick.
You guys were sharks, dogs, waiting,
Right.
just biting on the bit to get to your action. The
Right.
swarm, like you said. And I've watched that many times. It's a biological thing, like you said. The dialogue, the urgency in somebody's voice, the
Yep.
banter, like Marty used to always talk, and looking. You see the other players moving over, like Mr. Rixendeos, the bobblehead himself, getting so far ahead
Right.
that you had to put a leash on him.
Right. You'd have to, come on, we're trying to protect you. We can't, well, I need to get up farther. Well, I understand that. But unless you get up farther without your protection, you're dead.
Yeah, overextended could cost you,
You're
right?
dead. You know? So you get up as far as you can, and then let your back guys come up and get comfortable, and then you make another move.
Hence
and
fishing.
then you're slowly moving across. That's why those 45-man games were great, because you gave you time. When you get in here and you have a 6-5-minute game or a 5-minute
Or
game,
you lose a guy,
Yeah,
and the two
come
guys
on.
are done.
yeah, come on.
That-
And it's just automatically going to go. Whip, it's going to go to angle and done. You know,
Most memorable moment.
England
England
winning.
winning. That was the Mayhems?
Yep.
Okay.
It was kind of neat winning the 5-man Masters. That was kind of neat.
And what year was that? You remember?
That was
Long time ago.
You know, we talk about different things. We got to a certain point of winning. Now it was skill, but it was a lot of luck. And anybody that says it wasn't luck is full of baloney, because there's too many factors that could happen. But anyway, we went to the Masters, and we pulled up, and Jim Linley says, "You won't win this tournament." And this is after we won 7 in a row. I said, okay, yeah, whatever, we're going to play our best. So we were playing, and I had got hit in the back of a 20-ounce CO2 bottle and didn't know it. And it was dead center in the butt plate. There was no butt plate, it was just a CO2 tank.
Yep.
And I come running up, and I raised my gun to shoot. And
Yeah, keep
forget
that.
it.
Yeah, somebody would be like,
I raised my gun to shoot, and I got a 50-point major. I had never got a penalty like that. 50-point major kept us out of the semis. Now, we were barely out, but we were out. So the factor is staying out of the semis eliminates you from the finals, because the very simple reason, we were really good at finishing the tournament. And that was getting used to winning. No matter how hard you try, you have to learn to win.
now your last championship that was in 97 or 98? Yeah.
Long time ago.
And that was, so that was with Weeze was on that team, and Rich Telford was on
Well,
that team?
what happened is, I don't know if the world knew about this, and I'm going to tell you this straightforward. The airman team that I had, that had won all the tournaments, that year we had taken a second, a third, and a third. And we were in Florida. And the group, without me, had a meeting. And then they pulled me into it. I said, okay, what's the deal? And they said, we need new leadership now, we're not winning. I'm going to tell you right now, it crushed me. But I said, okay, I understand. And Dave Youngblood says, Bob, you can still play. I said, well, I understand what you guys want. You want new leadership. You want something else that will help you guys move back to that winning, because you're used to winning. I understand that. But I can't play. I have to lead. And I go, that's where my knowledge helps. It's not my gun that I can get out there and say I'm the best shot in the world, or I move the best. I'm a strategist. I know my players. I know what to do. So I quit. Went in my bedroom, cried. I said, this is killing me. So we went, I came home, I called my sponsors, which I only had really one, which was National Paintball, because Dave took JT with him because he was involved with JT. And I said, this is what happened. He goes, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to build a team. Well, what are you going to do? I said, I have a practice team that I practice, Ironman 2.
You guys were practiced extensively in Brentwood.
Yes.
Some vicious
Yes.
stuff was going on
Yes.
there.
And there were some good players.
Oh, so the cross section
There was some
very
good
diverse.
players. And I said, I want to take that team and move it up the ladder. And Gino, of course, said, anything you want to do, you do. And I said, okay. So I made some phone calls. I got Rowdy McDonald from back east. I got Mike Carey, and asked these guys, are you willing to come out and play with us? I asked O up here, because I needed the speed, and he was rocket fast, and Pollock, and I asked Mike and I asked Rowdy. Both of them had family-owned money, and they would be willing to pay for their airfare to come out and play. So I had to look at all the strategy across the whole board. So we physically practiced in my house. We had drills against each other. We did very little tournament play against tournament play. We had enough guys that we could play against each other and learn each other's moves. So we went to Las Vegas. Las Vegas was our first tournament. I said, let's play.
That was 97 or 98?
Can't remember.
I remember it was hot as F word there.
Hot.
It was
Yes.
hot.
Yes.
Where you guys had a good game down
So-
in the ditch.
Yep.
Or in the riverbed and against
So-
Aftershock.
We played, and we were in the top 3. Okay, now we're amateur. We entered as amateur. I pulled the guys aside. We walked over. Ron Nelson was there. All those guys were there. We
Billy
sat
Payne,
in. Billy
Kevin,
Payne,
Pat Rader.
Kevin. Yep,
You
all
guys
those
had
guys.
a good cross section of people.
You know, and I said, okay, what do you guys want to do? And we left it up to the team right there, and they said, we want to go pro. I said, you go pro, there's no turning back. The work's going to start now. And they'll guarantee you they'll say, I said that exact words. I go, there's no turning back. And they said, okay, we'll go pro. And we ended up 3rd place in the pro division. So we said, okay, you understand, we're pro now. So we started drilling really hard, really practicing. We went through the whole season. The best we did was 2nd place, but we were 2nd and 3rd
Consistently.
every tournament,
In the money.
and we won the overall. Okay?
Some of these teams were just hitting, like winning one of the events and then going back down to 6th place or something, right?
Exactly.
Or
And
just showing up to
remember
5 events.
Remember I told you about the hill in Oregon? That's where we locked it, and we ended up 2nd place there. But on that hill, we had so many good angles that we conquered the field. And what I mean by that is people don't understand that you can conquer a field. You can. You can physically understand the moves that those other guys are going to make. They have to. There's a trail. It's running to this bunker. You're not going to run through the trees. You see what I mean? And we conquered the field. So that's things that people need to work on. It's really hard to do in arenas. Now, you look at this field right here, it's all different. That would be a perfect place for a field.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so many moves that you can make in here that nobody else will know. Over here, there's a dozen moves and it's over.
Yeah, it mirrors it, yeah.
It's over, you know, it's whatever those
The
moves
field, you got to
can
build
do
a
fast.
field, or the challenges, you, like I said, in the woods ball, you had to physically, if it was uphill or a creek or something.
I can remember playing a big game in Detroit, and I dove in next to a road, and I was perfectly in. It was a big game, you know. It was 40
Having fun.
games. Yeah, having fun. And I dove in a bunker, not a bunker, but a route that I could hold off. But they couldn't approach from the left because it was a swamp, you know. And I could hear them coming, even if they went in the water. They only had to approach down the road or over the top, and I could see both of those. And for 15 minutes, I honestly probably shot 25 people trying to get me out of that bunker, and they couldn't get me. They could not approach me without getting shot. Because, you know, they could shoot at the bunker all they wanted, but the way the bunker was
You could come
situated.
out, shoot once or twice. And
Oh, I
shoot
didn't even
back
have to
in.
come out. I had a barrel sticking
Yeah.
out. You know, so it just shows you that, you know, you could think of these different things. And every time I heard somebody approach from the swamp, I just leaned back and shot them. Leaned backward because they were in toolies.
Yeah.
You know, but just different things.
Take care of yourself.
Love you, Bobby.
Hey, give me
Anytime.
Yeah, you guys better get those pie plate things like he was talking
Anytime.
about.
We got to do, you know,
Bob.
next weekend, Bobby, there might be a LaSoya and Bonini might be down, possibly, huh?
I know LaSoya for sure.
So
He said he
we
was gonna
start.
try.
We're gonna do barbecues once in a while too over at Dave's house over in Roseville. So
And we
we'll
can
give you a
barbecue at
holler
my
if
house
some of
on
the people are in town. We'll fucking get together, man.
call.
You know what I mean?
I got extra rooms too, Bob. It's just me and the wife, so.
Okay, so
Bob wants to sleep on the big bed with you. So we're walking up, wrapping it up. Great chatting with Bob here. Bob Long,
time
you
for
don't know.
back in the Golden Hills.
And he's out
disappear.
here reminiscing. And we're going to get back with him good Lord willing, talk more about it. The West Coast scene, for those who don't know, I'm very proud to be part of the West Coast scene. Not taking it for granted. Back in the day, the stories when him and his son used to come out, the original thing, created it, helped a lot of people. Paintball has taken him to places he otherwise probably wouldn't have gone.
Never been there.
Always family orientated. His wife Phyllis has always been your staunchest supporter.
Well, you can see all the people that I know here.
Yeah, so he's the extended family of the game. It's like we're all orphans. And then at the end here, I'm fortunate enough to be standing with the man himself. The memories, watching it, being in another city, being on a team that didn't make the finals, being stuck till Sunday, because that's how it was. While the rest of your guys paid $100 to go home, I would watch these guys.
Yep.
And some of the greatest moments, and then you'd come back and the story would be distorted, and I'd be like, nah, it wasn't quite like that.
Yeah. It was completely different.
Yeah, completely different. So that's people ask
And I'm
about
fortunate to own one of your guns.
Yeah, that's cool.
that. So we're going to let Bob go. We're going to get back with Bob another time. And
You too?
yep, we're going to have the West Coast segment, going to the horse's mouth. Kenny Rogers sing us a song, him and Lionel Richie.
Yep.
All right, good day, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Bob.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share. Please join me on Facebook and Instagram. I also have a Patreon account in case you would like to become a Patreon. All the links are listed down below. Thanks for watching.